Have we seen bush doing? Have we seen why it's fucking awesome?
And this week on Unfinished Business, what we're going to be talking about, or what I'm going to be talking about, sorry, still in Cinefiles mode. What I'm going to be talking about is more of a random hodgepodge of subjects, because really none of them really fit together into a subject. So first of all, what I'd like to talk about is Liam Neeson. I've actually noticed Liam Neeson has started making action films since the Cinefiles has started. And in my own delirious ideas, I like to think that maybe Liam Neeson was actually sitting around watching a Cinefiles episode where I unfortunately made the remark that he was a good actor, but he doesn't have any pizzazz in his performance, so it's kind of like watching a blank page with no writing on it. And I like to think that after I made that comment, he was watching the show and said, "I will show that fat bastard." And he actually went out and started more or less making more exciting films. The A-Team, you know, Unknown, of course, Taken. I'm not gonna lie and sit here and say the films are horrible. I mean, they're not great, they're not good, but they are entertaining for what they are. And, you know, I applaud him, and I will say that through these films, he's actually shown some charisma, or more charisma, and shown that, you know, he's pretty badass when he wants to be. And he also made the film Chloe, which, you know, well, it also showed him in a more sexual light. Not that I wanted to see that, but again, interesting choices. I just recently saw The Grey, and that was a great, phenomenal movie. I think his best action film. The next subject I'm going to jump on, movie adaptations of popular TV shows. The recent success of 21 Jump Street, a show I worshipped as a kid or a teenager that I originally hated when it first came out, because I thought it was just, this is nothing but beefcake. But then my mother watched it every week, so one week I was forced to watch it, and you know, it ended up becoming one of my favorite television shows of all time. I know how the trailers look. I know maybe you're not a fan of Channing Tatum, but I have to say, he's one of the best things in it. Channing Tatum plays dumb pretty well. But there have been other successes, like Charlie's Angels. Say what you want, I know Mick G, not the greatest director. It really works, and it's actually entertaining. I mean, yeah, more or less, I'm not ordering you, go see it. But if you're looking for something that's a good time waster, check it out. SWAT, you know, which was horrible, but then again, I never watched the original television show. The Green Hornet. My theory with that is that if you're going to remake a television show, if it's more than 30 or 40 years old, don't bother remaking it, because modern audiences aren't really going to relate to it. That is also what went wrong with Speed Racer. Speed Racer is more of a kids film, and you know, the kids already aren't interested in the story, so really, who is this for? Maverick with Mel Gibson. Yeah, I know he's hated, but the film is still good. Richard Donner kicks ass, and it has original star James Garner and Jodie Foster in a rare comedic performance. The Brady Bunch, the first Brady Bunch movie, not the sequel. We can't forget the worst one of all, Wild Wild West, starring Will Smith, which was more producer John Peters getting what he wanted, which was a mechanical spider. Also just hubris run rampant, and it's horrible. Miami Vice, the movie version, is decent. I'm not saying it's perfect. It is flawed in many different ways, but it is a perfect representation of what the television show made into a movie was supposed to be. Excuse me. Also, another thing, this is more cartoon adaptations. Studios, please stop raping our childhoods. Alvin and the Chipmunks, Smurfs, what you should have focused on more was releasing these things on DVDs. Because the thing that's a kick in the butt is that then you release these movies, but you still don't release the original episodes. They're probably still more entertaining than the movies that you make. All you tend to do is throw in a bunch of pop cultural references and just all tie it into, oh, these are the Smurfs doing this, or this is Alvin and the Chipmunks doing this. And it ends up not doing very well. The only cartoon adaptation that was actually done well into a movie are two. Masters of the Universe, but if you were a fan of the cartoon, it still was pretty kick-ass. And I know I'm going to be picked apart for this. I liked G.I. Joe the movie. Is it stupid? Yes. But you cannot deny Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow battle scenes, pretty badass. And not to mention the rest of the film, I look at it as being ridiculous, but it works because considering it's based on a cartoon, is it not supposed to be ridiculous? And that is the random stuff that I want to talk about for this episode. But please, I enjoy you guys. I enjoy your comments. Keep them coming. And unfortunately, that is our business for this week. But as you always know, there's plenty of unfinished business out there. But before I go and leave you, I have to ask you this. Have you seen Scott Pilgrim yet? If not, you should, because it's fucking awesome. And I will say to all, a good night.